I remember so clearly. It seems like just the other day. We were two kids.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Family.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? We hope you guys are having a good week so far. Thank you guys for tuning in to AP and Toya podcast. Of course, I am AP, and I'm here with my beautiful wife.
Toya.
What's going on, boo? Hey, we are excited for a couple of reasons. We have some great shows coming up, but we are so excited just to be in front of you guys once again. We're happy for it, man, and we thank you guys for listening and watching and all that good stuff, and we appreciate you guys. We have a couple...
I should take my shirt off so we can match.
Yeah, boo.
Cause
Oh, yeah, we actually do kind of match. Yeah.
we do kind of sort of match.
Yeah, man. So it's been a great week so far, boo. If you listen to this week, we just came off Super Bowl weekend. It was a fun Super Bowl. Had a good time watching the Super Bowl with me and the kids, and just relax, man. I love football. Y'all, if y'all don't know, football is my favorite sport. So she's like, I could care less. She
I had to work. I didn't get to enjoy any of it.
Yeah,
but
she never likes watching football anyway. She'll just.
I do. I watched the halftime show.
Yes.
I'm all about the halftime show.
Speaking of the halftime show, what do you think about the halftime show?
Shakira. Oh, baby, when you talk like that. I love some J-Lo and Shakira.
Yeah,
I wish I could move my abs like her. I gotta stand up a little, do my abs. My kids was like, that's not how it looks. I was trying to do like,
How funny! When I was watching it, at first I was like, okay, well, this is gonna be something. I was just waiting to see what kind of something it was gonna be, but it was some funny, memeable moments. With Shakira doing the whatever she did. I probably put it at the bottom of the screen so I can see what I'm talking
all
about.
her noises that she makes. But that's like her thing. Like that's what Shakira does. She makes those kind of goat sounding
Goats.
sounding noises. I don't know. What does that sound like?
I guess it's yodeling. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, yodeling, I guess. But the halftime show was cool, man. It was all right. They had Latin America going crazy. Everybody, any type of Spanish roots was going crazy for them. And
I loved it. I thought it was empowering. It was just women out there doing their thing and just representing their Latin community. I know Ja Rule was mad he didn't get a call. Wyclef was over there talking about something. He filming his own commercial from his couch, being a hater. But he said he wrote all those songs, so he said he was making money from his couch. But she brought out Spanish rappers, Hispanic rappers.
Yeah, usually the Super Bowl is known for like real big, performances. Like one of my favorite performances is Bruno Mars's halftime show. Beyonce killed. Of course, if you go classic, you go Prince, who had an amazing set. Michael Jackson, who literally stood there for like 4 minutes straight, and people were going nuts. Like, I don't know if you ever saw Michael Jackson halftime show, but he literally stands in one pose, and people lose their mind. They forget they're at a Super Bowl. They just lose their mind. It's kind of crazy. I probably will put that at the bottom of the screen too, so y'all can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, it was all right, man. It was okay. I wanted more though, because you gotta go big for the Super Bowl. But,
they did go big though. How did they not go big? Like
it went big
major Latin artists. Like they
went big for Latin America. I mean, I'm not Latin, so I didn't really enjoy it as much as I could. I mean, J-Lo had some hits, but it would have been dope if she did bring out Ja Rule, or she did or Wyclef came out or something like that. That would be kind of dope for me, just to kind of get all audiences, because those hits weren't hits just by themselves. You know what I mean? But it was still fun. The game was dope. Shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, all that good stuff. All right.
So they were getting a lot of backlash. So tell me what you think about this, because they were getting a lot of backlash with people saying that it wasn't family friendly. So a lot of people.
Oh, the butt shaking and stuff.
I guess just I guess the way they were dressed, the butt shaking, all the belly dancing, and all that stuff. They were saying it wasn't. A lot of people were saying it wasn't family friendly. Like they felt like their kids were exposed to all of this. Like they felt like their kids shouldn't have watched it.
I get it.
But people were also saying like last year Maroon 5, like when the guy, what's the name, Adam Levine, when he was performing, he had on like no shirt the entire time.
They were talking about the double standard.
Yeah, like moms in 2019 were like looking at Adam, but then when J-Lo was there, they were clothed.
They're offended, yeah.
They were offended.
I get it.
So,
that's a double standard we kind of have with society, though. Anyway, right? It's just
so. I don't
What do you think
know.
about that?
I think they did a great job. I mean, I watched it with my kids. I was eyeing my son though, because I was like, when J-Lo was doing her little booty dance, I saw him.
He got real quiet.
I saw him eyeing J-Lo butt. So I don't know how I feel about that, but
Hey man.
I don't know. Just as a woman, I felt empowered. I mean,
She's
our
50
kids,
something. Are they both
our
50?
kids. I think Shakira is 43 and J-Lo is 50.
Okay, but they did a
But,
good job, man.
Like, I'm
be-
35 and I can't shake my booty like that. Like,
But
I
you-
get
but you
tired just walking. So doing all the dancing on that pole and doing all that stuff,
Oh gosh.
that just wouldn't have happened.
Can I put your pole dancing video up there?
My pole dancing video is just for you. Just for you, baby. One
Anyway,
time,
okay.
are you talking about that time I took that class?
With your girls, yeah.
So my girlfriend had a shout out to my friend. I don't want to put her out there, her name out there, but we did experiment with some pole dancing
Pole dancing classes.
for a birthday party.
It's supposed to be
Not
fitness.
for money or nothing. It was a fitness birthday girlfriend type of
A
activity.
bunch of girlfriends got together.
Man, I was trying to do this pole thing and flip. You're supposed to flip but land on your neck and try to be sexy all at the same time. That was not for me.
Oh my gosh. I would put the pictures up there, but I still got it on my phone. But
But the way that pole was set up and the way my arm muscles was set up, it was just like I wasn't going anywhere. So it turned into a chair dance class because
yeah.
we ain't had no upper arm strength.
All y'all?
Yeah,
Shame with all y'all.
we just couldn't get up the pole or get down the pole. So
That's
it
hilarious.
turned out to be a chair dancing class.
Yeah.
And then I came home and performed a chair dance for you. Was it good?
Dollars on dollars. Hey,
Hey, you didn't give me no dollars. That was a free dance I did for
all
you.
I got is debit card, so. Anyway.
Right there on my butt card.
Swipe the debit card. Anyway, man, yeah, it was a great day.
Yes.
Sunday was fun. Shout out to everybody that enjoyed the Super Bowl. But we're here just to, we're talking about something today that was something that affected the whole world, I feel like, right?
Mm-hmm.
It affected the whole world I think it was last Sunday. So last Sunday, my wife and I, and my whole family.
Wow, it's been a week already.
It might be, it's been a week.
Sunday.
So it's been a week. Yeah, it's been a week, and they haven't had the services as of yet. While we're filming this, they haven't had the services as of yet. But I'm sure everyone in the whole world knows last Sunday, Kobe Bryant and his beautiful daughter Gigi and 7 others passed away in just a crazy helicopter crash, and it felt like it just affected the whole world. I felt like everybody was grieving, and the funny thing is, you don't really realize the impact somebody has on your life until something like this happens. Like, I didn't realize it. I'm a Brooklyn Net fan before I was a New Jersey Net fan before they went to Brooklyn. So I never really paid attention to the Lakers. I knew about Kobe, obviously, just being a big basketball fan, but I never realized how much of a cultural icon Kobe really was, unfortunately. And it didn't hit me until we were sitting at dinner. We were at the mall in a restaurant, and my friend texted me, my boy Lance texted me. He was like, "Yo, Kobe died in a helicopter crash." The first thing I thought was, "There's no way. There's no way. It's probably a hoax. They'll take it back." The media love to kill people off every month. I mean, yearly somebody die, and it's usually false. So especially somebody like Kobe Bryant, how old was he? Kobe, they said, was he 41?
41, I think.
He was 41. So you hear somebody 41 years old dying, especially of his caliber and magnitude, you kind of just like, that's impossible. And then as the reports started happening and it started flashing across the news, I was like, wow, this is real. This is real. And I was genuinely affected by it. Like, I couldn't eat anymore. Like, we were at a table and I was consumed with it. Like, my wife can testify to it.
He was eating fried chicken. He don't stop eating fried chicken. Like, so he was really. I'm not trying to be funny, but I know you were really affected because.
Like I just said, I'm not trying to be funny, but she definitely just
like,
made a dig at me. You know what I mean?
If he's not eating his fried chicken, holy moly, something bad.
But it was something crazy though. Like we were at a place where it was TVs all around. And so people were walking in, smiles on their face, talking to their family, and then literally stopping in their tracks.
It was just like breaking news on all the television. And I think it was sad. It's sad not only the way that it happened, it's sad like the way the media released it.
Yeah,
there was a lot of reports
terrible.
of TMZ releasing it before the family knew, then finding out, like trying to put all the pieces together, then finding out that his daughter was with him, then other people, there were 2 other young girls that were killed that were on her team, the coaches, the family, just so many people that was affected. And initially I was like, it took me a little minute to kind of understand the magnitude and feel the sadness. I think it didn't hit me until the day after when I saw, like, besides Kobe being a basketball legend, like just the person he was, the man he was. Like, I remember watching an interview a few months before that he did on a podcast that I listened to, and just this.
Which one?
The Lewis House podcast.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I was just telling my son, like man, like he was always talking about coaching his daughter and coaching these girls, and how it's just he had this thing with time. Like, if you talent is one thing, but he always talks about all the interviews, because since his death I've just been like obsessed with watching all of his videos, because I just love his mindset, that Mamba mindset, that Mamba mentality. And how he always talks about, I was telling my son, like, he just said, like, he was always putting in the extra hours, and he was calculating, like, he said he would get up, he would work out 2 to 3 hours, then he'll go do something with his family, come back, do another 2 to 3 hours, go do something else, then come back, do, like, he had this crazy work ethic. And he was just saying, like, if you do the math, like, people think it's so crazy and you just show up and it's just talent and you just become a legend, but he was just saying, like, he put himself way ahead of other players, because he put in that time, he put in that extra hours. And he said he was years ahead of his peers, because if you calculate the hours, like, he was putting in time. And I was trying to I wanted my son to watch that interview, because I'm just like look, like, he was just saying the kids, and even with his girls, like, when he was coaching the girls, telling them, like, no, you need to practice 2 to 3 hours a day. Like, when other kids go home, they're doing homework, they're shooting some hoops, if they're even practicing that day, you know what I'm saying? Like, but if you practice every day 2, 3, 4 hours, like, you know, just calculating and putting all that time together make you even better.
I mean, Kobe definitely was he was somebody that really practiced what he preached when it came to just developing a habit of hard work, and that's why everybody's always, you know, saying Mamba mentality. You gotta have Mamba mentality when you do this, and in life, in the boardroom, on the field, on the court, whatever you're doing.
Whatever you're doing, whatever you're good at. He always encouraged people to get so crazy good, like, put in the hours. He said it takes, like, I forgot what the number, 10,000 hours to be considered an expert at something. You have to put in 10,000 hours. And I don't know. I've been obsessed about watching every single interview. Like, I just love the way he thought. Like, I love the way he approached stuff. And I was watching one interview, and they said, like, you know, you're a legend, you've accomplished all these things. Like, you know, when your kids remember you, how do you want them to remember you by? And he was just like without even thinking about it, he's like, Dad, like, I want them to remember me as Daddy. And I think all the pictures and all the videos, I think that's why it really hit me the next day. Like, like, these children just lost their father. Like, this wife just lost her husband, you know, like.
It is something that is tragic, but it does put a lot of things in perspective as well. You know what I mean? And just before I even get into that, like, just to see the outpour of support and love that the world showed Kobe, this is the first time I've probably cried at a celebrity dying. I think it might be the first. Like, I really was shedding tears, not only shedding tears because of who he is, but I was shedding tears because it makes you almost think your mortality. You know what I mean? Like, we go through every day, and we're kind of just moving, and we got goals here, we're ripping and running, doing this, doing that, doing that, but at the end of the day, you never know when it's your time. And so
At the end of the day, does that stuff really matter?
Right.
Does
The stuff that we drive ourselves crazy
really
to
matter?
do
Yeah.
doesn't matter. What legacy are we really leaving our families? But the legacy that he left on the court, off the court, you can tell it affected people across all walks of life. I mean,
Yeah.
it felt like the world stopped for a whole day and just really was mourning. Probably not even as a day, for like 3 days straight. I could probably say it was just a big. Everyone was mourning. You got newscasters and athletes and people in music and just every and
It
just
just
everyday
felt like
people.
everybody he came in contact with, like he touched them.
He affected
in some
them.
way.
And you'll get some people that will try to bring up the issues that he had. The one time he had issues in the case in Colorado and stuff like that, and they're trying to really smear who he is, and people you really had people that were going out of their way to try and discredit who he is as a person. When I can probably count all the time. People can probably count the number of times they made mistakes or had mishaps, but the great thing about Kobe Bryant is that he learned from everything that he did, and he actually went on to progress to you never heard about anything else about Kobe Bryant after that. You just didn't, and so his legacy should be way more than a circumstance that happened. Not diminishing that circumstance.
I
but
think
just
there's
saying,
always those kinds of people, but
but
overall, we know he was a great basketball player. Yeah. He's a legend. He hasn't been admitted to Hall of Fame, right? He didn't get.
They're inducting him now. They said they will include him in this class.
See that. Like live to see that day. But.
Yeah, I think the rule is you have to be retired 5 years in order to get inducted. That's why he had to wait. Yeah. So, but they're going to skip his 5-year wait, and they're going to bring him into this class, the class 2020. They're going to bring him in as a first ballot Hall of Famer. So rightfully so too.
Yeah. And I know his family. His family has his memories, his legacy that he left for his kids. Because I know his mom's still alive. His mom is dead.
Yeah.
His 2 sisters. Like when you hear the stories, just the whole thing, just the other families too. We know Kobe Bryant because he's famous, but the other families have to pick up and still move on.
One guy was a legendary baseball coach. And he just the effect that he had on the community too, because he was a baseball coach that coached a lot of young men and a lot of men, and they looked up to him. And so you got not only have his family, but you have his extended baseball family. That's the ripple effect that is affected by this stuff. And then of course we can't talk about the
coaches.
We can't talk about the coaches without talking about the young girls that lost their lives so early. We think about Gigi. Gigi was what, 13, 14 years old. I think 13. We have a 13-year-old son. And I can't imagine what his wife Vanessa is going through, because I don't know what we would do knowing that we would lost our 13-year-old. I just don't know. And the great thing about Gigi is she was just a splitting image of her dad. She wanted to be great. One of the greatest interviews I heard, people would come up to Kobe and say, "Man, you just can't get a boy, man. What happened? You can't get a boy to kind of continue your legacy." And Kobe would come back with, "Nah, I'm good." But before he could even say that, they said Gigi would jump in and say, he doesn't have to have a son. I'm going to continue his legacy. Now you got a 13-year-old girl stopping grown men saying, "No, you got to worry about a boy, because I'm going to continue the Kobe, the Bryant name." And Kobe would just sit back and smile. And you saw her play. You can YouTube any games of her playing, and you can see she had that work ethic. She had that Mamba mentality. She just wanted to be like her dad, and she was on track to be a great basketball player. You could just see it, man. You could see her competitive spirit. And so, and obviously she was on the board with her teammates and stuff. They were going to a game. It was supposed to be a 15-minute flight. So it's just amazing to me, and our condolences go out to the family. But we know that Kobe Bryant left a legacy of love, left a legacy of hard work, and impacted the world. I mean, they were mourning across the world. But one thing I do want to talk about, and maybe you can start this off, Boo. What is one thing that you learned about yourself from this situation?
I learned so much and so many emotions, I think, that I had to process myself just after hearing all of this. I think I was just so in shock And still, I don't know, sometimes it takes me a little while to fully, like, for things to settle in and for me to process through. But the next day, I just felt this, like, sudden sadness in my heart, just thinking, like, as a wife, as a mom, because like I said, Jordan's 13 also, like, oh my gosh, losing a kid, losing a husband.
Yeah.
And then I was also, I think, you know, TD Jakes was on the Breakfast Club talking about this, and he was just saying, like, not only are we mourning, like, I guess the question was, why are we mourning someone that we don't know personally? Like, why is it that the whole world stopped for that one day or that week to just mourn somebody that we only know through his sports, through what he's done? Like, we don't know him personally, but yet we're hurting, you know, and mourning. And he was just saying, like, it just reminds us, like you were saying too, of our mortality. Or it brings up, and for me, it brought up not just my own mortality and the fact that I could be here right now and gone in a few minutes. Like, I could leave to go to work and never come back home to my family. It just reminded me too of, like, losing my dad and that hurt and that pain and that, like, I'm never going to be able to see this person again. Like, I'm never going to be able to have a conversation with them. All the things that I should have said or I couldn't say, or we're never going to be able to fight again. Like, I'm never going to be able to fight with my dad again. Like, we're never, you know, like, just all those raw emotions from things that you've, like, gone through in your own life of losing somebody and being hurt and all that stuff. I don't know why it reminds, I guess, just death and dying all together. Just
it brings up that raw emotion of how it feels like.
Just that final thing.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say the finality of it.
The finality of not being able to see you, not being able to talk to you, like, and just so, like, it happened so sudden, right?
Yeah, it was something
like
that
it's just a sudden thing, like, and it's a flight that they said he always.
He was flying. He's been flying for 15 years. Yeah, he's been flying for 15 years.
It's like we drive everywhere, he flies everywhere. Like, that was just what he does. It was 15 minutes away. Who knew? Like, you know, this day was it, and I don't know. And then just thinking, like, oh my God, just thinking of being with my kid and us knowing, like, oh my God, we're gonna fall to our death. Like. Like, what goes through your mind? Like, are you even, I'm like, was he even worrying about himself? He's probably trying to console his daughter and, you know, like.
And maybe it just happened so fast. Yeah, you think about that stuff, but you try not to. But I think I honestly took away, a couple things. I took away that I need to make sure that my legacy is one that is, my legacy that I leave on this earth, or what I leave behind, it needs to be one that matters. We get so caught up on our own individual goals, individual wants, and that's nothing bad with that. But what is the legacy that I'm leaving behind? What can I say that I did this so that now it affects the next generation? Now, I can't affect everybody, but the people that I have control over is my children. I can control the narrative that comes out of that comes out of my children when they think about who their dad is or was. It just really made me value the time I have left on this earth. It made me want to hug my son. It made me want to talk to my son. It made me want to, more. It made me want to hug my daughters more. It just really made me. I went from sad to regretful about the things that I could, the time I might have wasted chasing things. But it also put everything in perspective of, like, you gotta prioritize your time and your no, I just say your time. You gotta prioritize your time with your family, and I took that to heart with my children, and I took that to heart with my wife. It just really put it all in perspective, because I want to say, if I leave this earth tomorrow, my wife knows what it really meant to be loved by her husband. You know what I mean? Like, I really want my children to say that my dad was the best dad in the world. That's what I took away from it. I just want my children, my legacy, to be. Aaron gave everything. Aaron gave everything. My husband was the best husband in the world. Nobody can compare to my husband. My dad was the best dad in the world. I remember when he did X, Y, and Z with me. I remember when he coached my basketball team, when he came to my football games. I remember when my dad helped me do music. I remember when my dad read this with me. I remember my dad would joke around and wrestle with me. I remember that stuff. And so I just want my legacy to be one. it really just put everything into perspective of why being a father and a husband is one of the most important things, probably the most important thing to being a Christian, that's in my life. And so I just put it in perspective that my legacy is right here next to me. My legacy is in the other room over there. And I just want to be the best dad, and the best person, the best man, the best husband I could be. So, yeah. So.
I agree with you too. I always try to sew in everything that I've learned to pass it on to my kids, because I'm always like, years ago would just be like working, grinding, trying to get a promotion, trying to get more money, trying to do this. And then I realized, like, wait a minute, like, my kids are my legacy. Like, this job is not gonna, like, today, tomorrow, I can't show up to work. Like, my jobs get posted online immediately.
Yeah,
right?
The one thing you said with your job, you said if you die tomorrow, they're gonna post your job the next day.
Yeah,
like, the next day is gonna be like, oh, we got to open it.
We've had coworkers die, and then the next day, like, your mailbox is empty. Like, your job is posted online. That's it, right?
Yeah,
and we spend so many hours and time and blood, sweat, tears invested into our jobs, and so our kids are our legacy. But I was listening to Oprah the other day, and she taught me this, and I'd like to tell my kids this too. Like, she says, like, everybody that you come in contact with is your legacy. And it was like a different way to think about it, because I always pour everything into my kids. But she was just saying, like, everybody you meet, everybody you talk to, like, they should all come away being a better person. Like, everybody, every life that you touch, even if it's just a hi, a hello, like, everybody that you come in contact with, they should feel like your legacy. Like, you should be able to pass on something to that person, whether it's just a smile, a gesture, a hug. They should walk away feeling so good from having that encounter with you. It's almost like passing on, like, a little bit of you to everybody that you meet.
I love
and
that.
I really love that. I mean, she explained it way better than I did, but
no, but that's good.
I was just pretty much sharing a little bit of yourself with everyone that you meet and everyone that you come in contact with, because you never know. Like, you never know what people need to hear. You never know the encouragement, especially in these times. Like, everybody needs an encouraging word. Everybody needs a hug. Everybody's saying that they're doing okay when you're not fine. I'm reading a book that says, I'm fine and neither are you. Like, it's just... Like,
I'm not fine or I'm fine?
It's like a... what is that word when you... Like, not irony. What's the other word? It's pretty much saying, like, I'm saying I'm fine, but I'm not fine, and you're not fine.
Okay,
either.
gotcha.
Like,
Okay, gotcha.
It says, the book is I'm fine and neither are you, which is like, we go around like, hey, how you doing? I'm all right. I'm fine too. But, like, really inside, you're hurting. Like, you're not okay.
Yeah.
So it's saying, like, I'm saying I'm fine, you're saying you're fine, but neither of us, like, we're not okay.
Yeah, man. So yeah, we learned a lot from this experience.
Hyperbole?
You got 2 degrees, all right? I barely got something. So if you say hyperbole, I'm going with it. It might be hyperbole. Don't.
It's like a double negative, like when you say something but you really don't mean it. Like, I'm fine and neither are you, which means like we're both not okay.
I get it.
Okay.
I just don't. I get what you're saying, but I just I don't know the word. But
yes. So we are gonna end this podcast because we're talking. Too long.
We're talking way too long, but we just want to thank, we want to continue to keep the Bryant family and those other 7 families, other families, in prayer. And we Kobe, we thank you for your legacy. We thank you for being the person that you were. We thank you for just leaving these jewels with us through podcasts, through YouTube interviews, through whatever it is. You've left a lot of jewels here, and we're going to continue to look. We're going to continue to dig for those diamonds, and we thank you for just leaving it all on the court, and also leaving your heart all over the world. So we appreciate you. Thank y'all, family, for tuning in to our podcast. We felt like we had to do justice by doing this subject, so we thank y'all for checking us out. Thank y'all for listening. How did Kobe Bryant affect your life? If he affected you, and how did the death, upon the death of Kobe Bryant, how did it affect you? And what legacy are you trying to leave for the ones that matter the most in your life? All right. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you go and check us out on Apple Podcasts.
Apple
Check us out on
Podcasts.
Spotify. Check us out on SoundCloud. Everywhere, pretty much you can get.
YouTube. Watch our YouTube.
Yeah, I said subscribe to our
so
YouTube.
you can see us.
Yeah. So everywhere you go, you'll find the podcast, AP and Toya Podcast. And also make sure you follow us on social media, all the socials as my wife says. Our Facebook and our Instagram are the same thing, AP and Toya Podcast. So thank y'all for checking us out.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
I was trying to say something.
Sorry,
Cut
boo.
me off.
What were you saying?
I forgot what I was going to say now.
All right.
No, but I was going to say, I wanted to end it with a little encouragement to just hug someone in your family.
Yeah, man.
Put your phone down. Take time to
That's a podcast in itself. Put your phone down. I'm talking to myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put
Spend
your
some time.
phone down. Take some time to be present. Take some time to be present.
Yeah.
Take some time. Put your phone away. Turn off the notifications. I was listening. I'm always listening to podcasts. I was listening to something, and this person says, like, they have no, like, notifications. Was it Tyler Perry? I think it was Tyler Perry. He was saying, like, he has no notifications going to his phone. Like, he doesn't...
Smart.
He's so focused on what God has called him to do and his writing and everything that he does that he doesn't want to be distracted by any single notification. I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. You know,
That's
his
a good idea.
notifications go off on my phone. Like, I can't think on one thing for like 2 seconds because something else is popping up and then my mind goes to that.
Yeah.
So take some time to be present, love on your family, take some time to love on yourself,
Definitely.
right? Love
Definitely.
on your spouse, your partner, friends, check on your friends, check on your strong friend. I saw a shirt saying, check on your strong friend. Check on your friends. Just take some time to love. Life is short, and we just need to take time to enjoy it. We're ripping, we're running, we have goals, we have all this stuff that we're trying to live out, but let's not miss the moment. Let's not miss living in today and enjoying today, because tomorrow is not promised.
Tomorrow's not promised, y'all.
Yeah.
That's it, boo?
So that's it.
That's it, man. Love
That's
you
my
guys.
little Toya's Corner.
Toya's Corner. Love you guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And we will be back with you guys again next week with a brand new podcast. See you soon. Peace.
I remember so clearly. It seems like just the other day. We were two kids falling in love.